Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Abla. I'm very happy to be here, and this is such a crucial and timely topic, I believe, because I think that we tend, when we look at the transport and logistics industry, to see it as an enabler for other industries, to see it as kind of a service provider. But it's my belief that logistics is actually, in this day and age, with many developments that have happened, in itself a driver of the economy. Countries that have successfully leveraged their strategic position as hubs within the global transport network have succeeded in adding double digits to their GDPs. And I believe that Egypt is really in a unique position to do that, and we're a little bit late, and we need to continue to build on the progress that we've made. Within the past few years, the Ministry of Transport, as you mentioned, Dr. Abla, has really put in a huge amount of effort in transforming the infrastructure across all modes of transport. And I think that's a very important step, but it's only an initial step, because infrastructure alone is not enough to create the kind of system that integrates into the world. If we look back at the driving questions, and we consider initiatives like the Belt and Road, Egypt has a huge opportunity to be a part of that. Now we have a new opportunity. Just this morning, I was attending a meeting of the BRICS Transport Working Group, and Egypt has just joined BRICS. There are many initiatives beyond infrastructure. Of course, we need to build the kind of intermodal connectivity, but we also need to look at having common digital platforms, at improving efficiency, because that's where the competitiveness really starts to come in for different countries. And there we have a huge amount of room to improve, because our transport costs are high, and the more efficiency we can create through digitalization and through different types of solutions, the more competitive we can be. The other thing that I'd really like to emphasize is when we talk about emerging trade routes and different trade routes, I think we need to recognize that the Suez Canal is and will remain a key transport channel, and possibly one of the most important in the world, or the most important in the world, regardless of temporary geopolitical disruptions. And so we need to be thinking long term, and at the same time, we need to consider that these different emerging trade routes complete each other rather than being a competition. If we talk about hubs and different areas that are also developing themselves in a very big way in transport, Egypt has its own unique value proposition. Part of that proposition is our connectivity to Africa, our existence within free trade agreements, some new developments that will connect us even over roads. It was just announced that there is going to be a road from Egypt to Chad. And the presence, of course, of the SC zone, which I will not speak about.
We'll give him the word as soon as
Dr. Muhammad is here. So just to sum it up, we need to look at the wider enabling environment. And within the transport and logistics, we need to look at it as a holistic system, and how we can fit within different trade flows, how we can take advantage of our unique competitive advantages, and develop digitally, and develop in terms of also human capability, and develop in terms of sustainability, because Egypt has a lot of potential in that area, in addition to infrastructure, which we have made big steps on. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you for the really amazing presentations. Of course, I'm very, very familiar with the SC zone. We are investors within it. We see the huge potential, and I think we're just scratching the surface. And Engineer Shireen's presentation, I absolutely loved, because he clarified something that we're living and that we know, and it makes an enormous amount of sense. So we, as a private company, we work in forwarding, and we work in trucking. And so immediately when the Red Sea crisis began, and the whole issue of Bab el-Mandab, our immediate action, even as a private company, we're not talking about, being part of a company-wide, a country-wide corridor or anything. We immediately introduced a service that we're calling a transit service from Mediterranean ports to Red Sea ports, and then on to the GCC and China, connecting GCC and China to Europe, as an alternative that saves time, instead of cargo going all the way around the Cape of Good Hope. So if we reach that conclusion immediately, it's something that makes complete sense. I just want to say that Engineer Shireen was saying that we're ready immediately, and I agree with that, but I just want to add a level of nuance to that. I think that in order to make this a success, we need 4 P's: place, and in place, I would say location and infrastructure, and that's what we've really been working on, and it exists, and it just makes the best sense. But also people, process, and I'm going to add today what was said: publicity. And in terms of people, I think that we have a lot of youth. We need education. We need the universities in the SC zone. We need the vocational and technical training, and we will create an enormous amount of jobs around this. In terms of process, I think that we need to continue to work on regulations, on simplifying the business environment, on integrating our systems with the countries around us that we would like to be part of that corridor. And publicity, yes, definitely letting people know that Egypt is here, and what we can do. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have much to add, because I think that everything has been said, but I will emphasize the Africa angle. I think that is very important. I believe I mentioned maybe in my introductory remarks the new road to Chad. I think that we need to have more and more connectivity, and that is one of the huge challenges in also building up intra-African trade, because the continent is doing most of its trade with countries outside the continent, while we're not trading enough in between ourselves. And a huge part of that is the transport and logistics, the cost of it, the cost of shipping from one African country to another, some of the geopolitical tensions that are preventing some of these roads that are planned from becoming a reality. So we have a huge amount of work to do in that direction.